Hello, Facebook family and friends. How are you today? Today, we are going to talk about negotiations, and we are going to talk about why would a vendor sell a property under 50,000, under 100,000 to the market price. There has been these questions asked on groups time and time again, and I thought it would be great for me to do a quick short video explaining, what would be the four key things when a vendor would really sell in the market price. Now, this is Moss from Investor Partner Group. For those who don't know me, we do strategic advising. We are buyers agents. I do property development, tax, SMSF, business structures advisory. Coming back to the topic, if you think about what are vendors' reason to sell a property, there could be four typical reasons where a vendor would really sell a property in the market price. Okay. Now there is this notion on the groups that is the vendor silly that they would consider selling it on the market price. No, the vendor is not silly. There are underlying reasons where a vendor would decide. So number one is understanding the vendor's needs. If you think about vendor's needs, the vendor may be looking for a cleaner, quicker exit, and so in relation to them seeking that, it would be important that they might discount the price to get a quicker sale. And so there are vendors who are going through tough time of their life, distressed sales. We are talking about vendors moving into aged cares, family separations, etc. So there could be a lot of reasons there where you would get a discounted property being sold at quick and dirty prices with quick settlement terms. So that's vendors' needs. Number two is negotiating on behalf of the seller, or the seller negotiating themselves. If you are a good negotiator and if you are negotiating quite well, then there would be chances that you might be able to negotiate it based on certain terms. You might be able to negotiate based on the market conditions, building in pest reports, or managing the relationship with some of the agents. And that's predominantly point number three. There would be agents managing relationships with other property professionals. And so time and time again, we have seen that a lot of real estate agents would sell a property to us at a relatively discounted price, especially development properties, because they're managing relationships with us, where they're expecting resales to come back to us. And so because you're doing developments, that notion is definitely there. Point number four is more in relation to buyers being uninformed. So there could be buyers who are quite significantly uninformed. If I think of a typical example, there was one deal just quite recently where we were dealing with a buyer from an interstate who had no idea what was happening through a local park in parts of Western Australia or Perth. There was another buyer who was overseas living in Iran, and they were looking for a quick sale, and they had no idea as to what the market is doing. Naturally they were looking at the news and they thought whatever is happening in the US is predominantly happening in Australia, be it property prices, for example. So there could be very uninformed buyers, even locally or overseas or interstate, that they are not informed as to what the market is doing. It's quite interesting that there are buyers in Western Australia who has seen the property prices peaking to 2015-16, and now naturally what they are thinking is, well, the prices have only come back to whatever they would have paid, and so let's take a clean exit, and so they might sell it at a previous older price point, whereas